Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my 2 informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Alright guys, I kind of want to compare and contrast 2 different people, 2 powerlifters, both drug-tested powerlifters who's been injured in the last year, who are in the process of trying to make their own recoveries, and that's going to be Jonnie Candito and Layne Norton. And I've kind of addressed both, but I kind of want to compare these two so that people can understand the difference between how certain people deal with injuries wisely and how some people deal with injuries absurdly and continue to keep getting hurt because of it. Now, Jonnie last night actually thanked me for my video. He just now had seen it, and I think I'd made it weeks ago. He had just now seen it. He thanked me for it, didn't endorse my channel, really said nothing else about me, just that he appreciated a positive video because he was expecting me to be negative in it. Because I am known for coming down hard on people. And he just thanked me for that. And because of that, a bunch of trolls descended on his video. He got hundreds of dislikes, all these hateful comments for one of the most non-controversial people in YouTube fitness. He's not controversial. He doesn't insult anybody, doesn't even get involved in anyone's politics. He didn't even endorse me. He just thanked me for making a positive video about his recovery because he said, wow, he appreciated that someone did that. And he got hate for it. So what I want all of my followers to do, because I actually do endorse Jonnie's channel. I think he's got a good channel. I think he's a very good athlete. I think he represents powerlifting very well, and I like the fact that, unlike me, he's not controversial. He doesn't start fights with anybody, doesn't get involved in fights or drama, yet trolls are going to attack him for it, which is just absurd. It shows how little those people are. All right, it shows how little those people are, how petty they are, and how basically ridiculous they are. Like, just how ridiculous they are as people who have no concept of reality. They would attack him for that. So I want, if you're watching this, you're one of my fans, I want you to go over to his channel. I want you to like that video. So the last video he made. I want you to like the video, and I want you to subscribe to his channel. He's got legitimately good information, and you can follow his journey back after a back injury, because he's going to compete again. He's coming back. He's rehabilitated himself, rebuilding his squat. You know what? I think if you're into strength or training at all, that's worth watching. Learn from his experience and learn from watching him rehab himself. It could be a valuable tool for all of us. For all of us. You don't see me tell you guys that often, do you? To go subscribe to another channel. I want you guys to subscribe to his channel. I think he's earned that. Now, that being said, that's what I want to compare in contrast, is the way these 2 different individuals have handled injury. And we've got the good Dr. Layne Norton, who, you know, I've basically said I don't think that he is capable of change. And I've even said, in spite of the fact that he and I have had our differences, that I wish he would change. Because I don't even want to see a power lifter destroy their own body. I don't want to see someone destroy themselves with heavy barbell work, because it looks bad. Looks bad for all of us, those of us who know that this is actually the key to health. But he's repeatedly destroyed his body, and I've said he doesn't have the ability to change. And this is a perfect example. This is someone who has been repeatedly injured, has had to have surgeries due to their injuries, and I've been there. I've had one. And yet, what does he do? He doesn't ever accept responsibility for his own injuries. He never steps back like all of us do who get hurt. We all say, man, I was stupid. That's what I say. My bicep. I tore my bicep because I was stupid. Stupid. He gets hurt because he is stupid. And I'm just going to say he does. He gets hurt because of that. When other coaches come and tell him, hey, this is why you're getting hurt, he basically tells them to shut up, that he knows better than they do. And he keeps repeating the same mistakes over and over and over. No matter how many times he gets hurt, no matter how many times he gets injured, he just screams, they said you were done. They said you had no chance. And he just keeps doing the same stuff that hurt him, and he gets hurt over and over and over and over. Now, it's often been said that the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting different consequences. Well, in his case, his squat form is the cause of his injury. That's the number one cause of his injuries. He doesn't know how to squat, and he refuses to learn, and he assumes that because he has lifted tremendous weight and squats enormous amounts and has in meets, that his squat is fine. Yet he's been repeatedly hurt. And just the other day again was hurt again. I made a video on it. He couldn't walk that day anymore. He had to get shots in his back. And yet he has learned nothing. He also promotes a training style, which, as I've told you guys, if you're natural, you can't train the way he advocates. You cannot do it. That you will not be able to recover. His frequency and his volume are too high. Now, I'm not the only person saying this. There are coaches with far greater bona fides than I have who have also said the same thing publicly about his training. Paul Carter comes to mind. Paul Carter's a better power lifter than him, better coach than him for coaching power lifters. He's coached more champions. Paul Carter said the same thing, that his frequency and his volume are so high that he's going to continue to get hurt as long as he does it. It's never going to stop. So when all the other experts in the world are saying you're getting hurt for these two reasons and you tell them, shut up, I'm the greatest, I'm going to keep moving forward, I'm not done. And he keeps getting hurt and doesn't care and just ignores them. That's the example of how not to do it. That's the example of how you end up being crippled for the rest of your life. Right? Being so egotistical that you can't let go. Now contrast that with Jonnie Candito. Jonnie has been very humble about his injury. Very humble about it, very mature. And as I pretty much said, when you take a young guy like Jonnie who steps back and is humble about an injury and says, you know what, I need to learn from this. I need to let this make me stronger. I need to make sure this doesn't happen to me again. I need to rethink my entire training. I've got to rethink it. I have to, because I want to keep winning and I want to keep getting better. And he's basically said that. He actually realizes that because of his injury to his lower back, that since he's a fantastic deadlifter, he doesn't want to be known just for deadlifting. He wants to have a great squat also. That he finds that his lower back can't handle low bar squatting with the sort of workloads he uses if he wants to keep deadlifting strong also and reach all his goals, because he wants to get to a 700-pound deadlift. He wants to be a great squatter who also deadlifts 700 pounds while weighing less than 200. That's a goal of his, and he's realized he can't do both of those things. So he has changed the way he squats. He's gone from low bar back to high bar. And he says, it's taking getting used to. I'm having to really adjust and rotate through rep ranges, intensities, to really get it down. But he's able to squat without his lower back hurting. And he's outside of his comfort zone and accept that he's going to have to go back to a different style of squatting he did years ago. That he couldn't produce the same numbers with that, but if he can make it work, he'll be able to train with more volume without getting hurt, and therefore he will be able to get it caught up and get his squat to where he wants it by completely changing the style he has been using in competition. Going from a low bar to a high bar, and he's finding that it's working better with his workloads because he's had to sit back and be mature about it and say, okay, it's not a random thing. These injuries are not random. I did this to myself. He's accepting responsibility for the injury and making the necessary changes to try to continue to improve and get better and not get hurt again. All right, that is how you handle injuries. And it's not an arbitrary, a lot of people, they go so far and say, oh, I got hurt bench pressing, I'm never going to bench press again. Well, that's not what you do. That's not how you fix the problem. Bench press is a perfectly safe exercise. The deadlift is a safe exercise. The squat is a safe exercise. the overhead press is a safe exercise. It's how you perform them, how you listen to your body, what sort of workloads you do, what sort of form that you do, that determines whether they become dangerous. All right, accidents like this don't happen in isolation. It's what we do in our training that causes it, and you have to be objective about that, and you have to set your ego to the side. You even have to set your fears to the side and say, okay, what caused this, and how do I keep improving, and how do I keep getting better without hurting myself again? And that's what Jonnie has done. You know, people aren't going to like me saying this, but when you compare these two individuals, it's like night and day. I can tell you which one of these two guys is still going to be a champion at 40. It's not going to be Norton. It's going to be Jonnie. And that's what I really like seeing. That's what I like seeing. I like seeing someone like him who has all that potential, who steps back and is humbled by an injury and says, I'm not done, but I've got to change what I'm doing. And he assesses it objectively and creates a strategy and a plan, applies it and adjusts it as he goes, and setting realistic goals. All right, what's going to happen if you take a gifted lifter like Jonnie, who has actually got a good head on his shoulders, and he steps back and says, okay, this is what I'm going to do? Where's he going to be in 5 years? Where's he going to be in 10 years? That's a guy who's going to be winning golds at Worlds in 5 years. It's a guy who's going to be winning gold medals in 10 years. And that's a guy who's going to do it with a very low risk of getting hurt again. All right, we could all learn a lesson by watching these two individuals and how they've handled this. All of us can learn from this, including me. So, yeah, well done, Jonnie. Guys, that's how it's done. That's how it's done. See, no one's saying Jonnie is done. No one is saying Jonnie has no chance. He's going to be successful. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.
Oh, wait a second. I think I need to wrap this up a little bit. Stupid is as stupid does, and it looks like the people that get injured one time and actually think about it and don't get all emotional in their thinking seem to recover and become stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That's right.
But the ego, that's the death of 1,000 cuts right there.
Yes, it is. All right, guys, we're out.